Living in an HOA community can be a real mixed bag. On one hand, you get manicured lawns and a sense of order. On the other, you get the fun police dictating everything from the color of your mailbox to the length of your grass. My story starts with a simple yet frustrating problem: our private road. It was designed for a quiet residential speed limit of 25 miles per hour, but somehow it had turned into the personal racetrack for our HOA president, Mr. Harrison. Every single day, like clockwork, his silver sedan would come flying down the road. We're not talking a little over the limit. I'm talking 60, sometimes 70 miles per hour. It was dangerous. Kids play on this street. People walk their dogs. And frankly, the noise was obnoxious. I tried the polite route first. I brought it up at an HOA meeting and said, "Hey, can we maybe put up some speed limit signs or even just a friendly reminder in the newsletter about safety?" Mr. Harrison, sitting at the head of the table like a king on his throne, waved me off dismissively. He claimed there was no speeding problem. He said I was being overly sensitive and that the road was perfectly safe. He even suggested that if I was so concerned, maybe I should be more watchful of my own surroundings. It wasn't just me who noticed. Several neighbors had complained too, but he shut them down just as quickly. That's when I realized being polite wasn't going to work. Mr. Harrison felt untouchable. He was the president. After all, if he was going to deny the problem, I was going to provide irrefutable proof. My first thought was to record it with my phone, but I knew that wouldn't be enough. He could argue the angle was wrong, or the video was sped up. I needed something official, something he couldn't dispute. I went online and found a professional-grade tripod-mounted radar gun, the kind police officers use. It wasn't cheap, but the thought of the look on Mr. Harrison's face when he was caught red-handed was priceless. A few days later, the box arrived at my doorstep. It felt like Christmas morning, but for petty revenge. I spent the afternoon setting it up in my front yard, partially hidden behind a large bush, but with a clear line of sight down the road. I calibrated it and tested it with my own car at exactly 25 miles per hour. Perfect. All that was left was to wait for the king to make his grand entrance. Around 5:30 p.m., I heard the familiar roar of an engine. There was the silver sedan barreling down the street. I aimed my phone at the radar gun display, ready to capture the evidence. As the car flew past, the numbers on the display jumped like crazy and locked in 72 miles per hour. I had him. One reading wasn't enough. I wanted to build a case he couldn't wiggle out of. For the next week, I became a part-time traffic cop. Every evening, I set up my little speed trap. Monday, 68. Tuesday, 75. Wednesday, 78 miles per hour. Every video saved, every speed recorded. After a week, I had a mountain of evidence. I compiled all the videos, dated and time-stamped, into a neat file. I didn't want to just email it. Too impersonal. I wanted impact. Using an online template, I created official-looking notice of violation documents for each day of speeding. Each notice included the date, time, and recorded speed, along with a calculated fine. The total added up to several $100s. But it wasn't about the money. It was about presenting his violations with the same bureaucratic seriousness that the HOA treats our minor infractions. 7 notices went into a big manila envelope, clearly labeled for the HOA board's review. At the next HOA meeting, I made my move. Mr. Harrison sat smugly at the head of the table, the meeting droning on through routine topics. When it was time for new business, I raised my hand. "I have a serious safety issue to bring to the board's attention," I said. I placed the envelope on the table. I explained that a single vehicle had consistently traveled at speeds approaching 80 miles per hour in a 25 miles per hour zone. Some board members looked concerned. Harrison scoffed. "And what evidence do you have?" he asked. "Video from my phone," I said, but then I added, "Actually, I have something a bit more concrete." I revealed the 7 separate violation notices, reading the license plate number aloud. The smirk vanished. His face went from tan to pale. Board members stared in disbelief as he flipped through the notices, hands shaking. He tried to argue calibration issues and entrapment. Calmly, I replied, "This is documenting a clear danger to our community, just like the HOA documents residents for minor infractions." The hypocrisy was laid bare. The fallout was immediate. The board held an emergency session, and Harrison was formally censured and issued a stern warning. Under pressure, the board approved speed bumps and new highly visible speed limit signs. The very next day, Harrison drove past my house, exactly 25 miles per hour, knuckles white, eyes forward, justice served. Sometimes, a little well-documented, bureaucratic revenge is all it takes to make a big difference. Our street is quiet, safe, and respected. Thanks for watching my story. If you've ever had a wild HOA experience, drop in the comments. I'd love to read them. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.